Greetings, fellow chronic compassionistas or aspiring. I just decided as I left work tonight that I was going to, because I haven't bought any gummies because I'm saving for my trip, but it's been a heck of a week. And so I wanted to stop by my neighborhood bar, Shade Bar, shout out, because it's usually filled with people my age, probably 30s to my age, if not older. Well, I talked to the bouncer, and I should have known because the Knicks are playing and it's weekend, and I'm not a sports fan, but and they don't show it there. But and they had a street fair going on in my neighborhood too. So and it's Friday night, and so and they had a private party in there, and these people would not leave, and so it was so sweet. Thank you. It was either Sebastian or Dominic, the bouncer, who said, "I got your back if you can't find a place to sit in there." And so thank you for that. So I went in because after this week, I wanted a drink. And so it was a lot of young kids. You get to be 56, and everyone under 40 is a kid. And, or 45. And I walk up to the bar, and there's no one sitting at the bar. They're all standing around drinking. And I had to excuse this. There were hot guys everywhere. I said, "Excuse me, I'd like this seat." And he said, "Sure." And he actually he said, "Let me help you with that." Of course, that's my hair too. But I think I am beautiful. And of course, I still have a buzz because I decided to order something different. So I ordered a vodka tonic with lime. And it was actually really good. It was good. And I love that bar too because they play their owner, it's woman owned, and she's really cool. And tonight she complimented me on my ring, which was very kind of her to do. She's really cool. She's got tattoos all over her arm and everything. And that doesn't make somebody cool, but she seems like a really cool person. And being a bartender is a tough job, and she handles it with ease. And so did the other bartender who took a break halfway through my stay here. Anyway, this young gentleman pulled the seat out for me so I could sit down, and luckily they had little hooks so I could put some person was hooked on the other side. I don't know whose it was. I hope you remember. Because anyway, so I had my bag with me, and so I was like, "What the fuck do I do with my bag?" Because I don't want to put it on the back of my chair because stuff gets stolen all the time. People, for and then I saw this, and I said, "Well, I'm just going to put mine right there." And I said, "Excuse me," to the young gentleman, who was sitting next to me, who was hot also, but I could tell he'd had a few drinks too. And he actually hit on the bartender, not the one I'm speaking of, but the younger one with the Knicks jersey on. And anyway, and there were some old in this group, this private party. I guess it was a work. I'm assuming it was a work party, private party. I don't know. But anyway, there were people there my age. There were men there my age. But let me tell you, there were some hot guys there. Even the guy sitting next to me, and I was having this conversation with my friend Elle. I was texting her. I texted her. I took a picture of the first drink. Yes, I had to because it was just very fascinating to listen to these young people And I just, I was like, no, I got the seat, and I want to enjoy it for a while. And I was hoping they would start like leaving. The bouncer was like, yeah, they're supposed to be out of here by now. They won't leave. And anyway, the younger, the first bartender with the Knicks jersey, who got hit on by the guy sitting next to me, who'd had a few. Um, she said, I have a boyfriend. And I looked at her and she looked at me. And I just like winked at her. It's like, you know. Anyway, I named this episode because I was jealous in a way. Yeah, I don't want to be young again, but gosh, you get ignored if you have my hair color. And I'm an attractive woman, and these young men could not handle me. That's what I told Leslie. It was so great chatting with her on the phone, via text during this outing, and I'm wearing, this is thrifted and thread up. This is a linen dress and it's Greek blue. Somebody reminded me of that today, or pointed that out to me today at work, because my trip to Greece is coming up in a few months, and so I wanted a, a nice dress, but it's casual, but it's also, it looks nice, and I decided, because it's like 90. Actually, it wasn't that bad out tonight, but it's been hot here. I mean, it is almost summer. Is it past summer? Is it summer solstice? Is that the 21st? I think it's the 21st. Anyway, I wanted to wear this dress today along with my pretty lingerie. I'll just show you a little bit of it here. It's by Leva Hubba, and handmade. It was the set, the panties match it. It's beautiful, and I hand wash it. It was like $75 for the set. And I bought this a couple years ago. Um, I bought it for that date, so it was more than a couple years ago, for that one date where the guy just went kink, even though he listed it at the bottom with all this other stuff like literature and art and books and cafes and blah 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 blah. If you just want kink, just write kink. Anyway, I had a vodka tonic with lime, and it was strong. I'm not quite used to them, but I don't like gin. But I thought I would try something to get a kick, and it gave me a kick. And I'm having fun texting Leslie, and and then he leaves. I think he was just visiting. I don't think he was from the city, but he was, anyway. So he leaves, and then this like trio. There's two guys, and one guy's sitting down, and it wasn't really my type, and none of them could handle me anyway. Seriously, seriously. I feel like a poor Samantha Jones at this point. Um, I have the attitude. I just don't have the funds, but I have the attitude of, especially when I'm not convincingly, I'm feeling myself. But this guy was standing, and he kept apologizing for like brushing against me, and I'm like, in my head, I'm like, keep brushing against me, dude, because I was feeling things down below. It's been a long time since I felt. Uh, he was just wearing a white T-shirt, but his skin under that white T-shirt kept brushing my arm, and I was just like, if he does this one more time, I'm going to demand to run my hands down his back as 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 um, as he had inadvertently touched me with his and the warmth of the skin. It's been a long time, folks. And yes, I was only going to have one drink, but they make good cosmopolitans too. So I ordered and I texted Leslie. I said, okay, I'm just going to have one more. And I ordered a Cosmo. And I was like, I have to have a martini glass. And it sucked because they would never leave, and I couldn't hear the great music they play. They play like 70s, 80s, 90s. Like I said, it's people my generation, maybe a little bit younger, like 30s to 50s, that sort of thing. But it was jam packed. I've never seen it that packed in there. But when I put music on before I sat, I thought, listen, I'm not on two gummies, but I've had two drinks. So let me make a video, and I don't think I made one last week. I've been in a lot of pain, RE pain, and right now I'm not feeling much of anything except horny. But that's okay. But it just, gosh, you see it. I see myself, and I'm like, I am hot. I know I'm hot. And I guess that's just going to have to be enough. These fools don't know what they're missing. And of course, it could have been a workouting, and they weren't there for that sort of thing anyway. But damn, that guy touching me with his back, his t-shirted back. I think I remember Monet Exchange, drag queen. She does a podcast with Bobby Drag Queen, and she was also has also been a host of Pizza. And I remember her and Katya was the guest on this episode, and Bosco was on this season, and Bosco was just incredible, and Katya was just like, she's like, I want to fuck her. She goes, I know that's vulgar, but I want to fuck her. And I don't know if Bosco is transitioning, but I remember before, when they watched the first runway, Bosco looked her costume, outfit, whatever, was just, and Katya was just, and even and Monet was like, she goes, I wanted to have a cigarette after seeing her in this costume. I can't remember what season or what episode, but look up Drag Race Bosco Pit Stop with Bob the Drag Queen and Katya, because it is so much fun to watch. But the second runway was like slits and something else, and Bosco came out again with this incredible, it must have been an All Stars, came out with this incredible, and it was funny because Katya's like, you don't like tits? Because I don't know if they're, she makes, it looks like they're her tits, like she transitioned and she got breast implants, but I don't know for sure. But they looked so real. And I remember Katya saying, you don't like tits? And Monet was like, no, I'm a gay man. But then when she came out the second time with this slits and I can't remember what it was, theme, Monet said her tits are out of this world. She's like, I'm feeling things down below. She goes, her tits are changing my mind. I'm feeling things down below. And I was feeling things down below too. Just this young energy. Of course, I heard a woman, she was maybe 28. It's hard to tell. When you're my age, it's hard to tell, but she was like, I'm, thinking about getting Botox. And I'm not that suicidal, but I'm just like, um, I wanted to sit her down, and she did end up sitting down with the friend she was talking to, standing up earlier to my left. And I'm anti Botox, but that's because even though Botox is not animal derived, it is botulism. And that, number one, that's fucked up. And number two, it is tested on animals, and they die excruciatingly painful deaths. And so there are vegan alternatives, plenty of vegan alternatives to Botox. If you feel so strongly, but I'm just like, God damn. I texted Leslie, I was like, this woman's talking Botox. And she's like, 28 years old. This is just like the democratization of Botox. Like everybody can afford Botox now or whatever. Just like the weight loss, whatever that thing's called. And I understand there are exceptions or whatever. But eat food that makes your skin look like this. I'm proud of the way my skin looks. I don't wear a lot of makeup, and it's not perfect. But none of us are perfect. And I have little lines, but I'm 56 years old, you know. And I went natural, which of course, I think that puts a lot of guys off. Not like I go out very often. And so this is what was just so interesting. I was like, I'm gonna go, and I thought I could maybe score because the weather was so nice, the humidity's gone down, and so I thought, oh, if nothing else, I can get a drink and sit outside. And they did have outside tables, but they were full, and then of course it's packed inside. But anyway, it was a fascinating human. Um, I didn't really want to look at my phone at all, except I was texting Leslie because it was like this to see these people out look wild because I don't go out very often and or at all actually, and I'm trying to save money, but I I thought this would be a good because I don't work tomorrow, um, and the weather's decent. It was you know it was really hot the last couple of nights, but tonight not so bad, and they had the AC on in there, and um, but just to be surrounded by all this maleness, and I always think of Samantha and how like the best guy in her life was this one guy. Remember him? I can't remember what his name was, but he like shaved his head when she got cancer. Um, I don't know if he shaved hers too, but he shaved his in solidarity. I mean, that's pretty. That's the kind of guy you want to have with you. And I'm not even saying I want a guy, but I'm like jealous. I'm jealous. I can say that. And there's nothing wrong with that. It sucks to be, even though I'm not looking to date anyone, whatever, I still have sexual feelings and desires. And I'm much, even with my RA and everything, I know so much more about how to please myself and to please a man than I did in my 20s. I didn't know shit. Or my teens. When did I lose my virginity? 19, maybe. 18, 19. To the clown. Yes, my first boyfriend. Real boyfriend was a clown. Though I have to say, the best kissing I ever experienced was Kenny Lumpkin. Kenny, thanks for that. And this was 80s punk. He had like the studded black collar, and he had piercings all over, he had a mohawk, and we were at a cast party. I think I've mentioned this before. And we were at somebody's house in the basement. But we were on the landing. There was a set of stairs, and then a landing, and then a set of stairs down to the basement. And it was dark, and music was playing, and 80s music of some sort was playing, and we made out like there was no tomorrow. That was the best kissing I've ever experienced. Damn, it peaked at like 17. I'm a great kisser too. He was good too, I have to say. It takes two to tango. Anyway, that song just really spoke to me. I know it's kind of more like I don't know if he thinks he's imagining that she's cheating on him, or that he knows she's cheating on him. And what's really funny too is last night I had a sexual dream about a younger guy who was really into me. And I don't know if that was unconsciously or subconsciously in my mind, as I thought, I'm going to stop by my neighborhood bar, and have a drink. Because I had gone 1 month without gummies, and I miss them because they also help moderate pain. But right now the alcohol is and I have a smoothie. I prepped a smoothie to have tonight too, to counter the effects of the alcohol, which is like jet fuel. I understand that, but tonight I was just like feeling it. But it was just because I remember I went to this bar. The last time I went to this bar was with my friend A, who no longer works with me. She got a job at a gallery, and she's gorgeous. She's 21, 22, just model, beautiful. But she was like the anomaly there, because when we were there, you could hear the great music playing, 70s, 80s, mostly 90s. And it was mostly people my age. She's an old soul like me, so it didn't bother me. And we just had a great time. We talk a lot like Trixie and Katya. She's the one who is like, we're like the Trixie and Katya. We're still like Trixie and Katya. We talk, we interrupt each other at the same time. We talk at the same time, and then we're like, what? And then we laugh. And anyway, I miss her. Hopefully we can see each other again sometime soon. It's hard though, with LA, being my age. But I was feeling myself. I was strutting and walking home pretty bad. And of course I had to say excuse me, and I bumped into the guy who I wasn't really attracted to, but the guy with the white t-shirt that I felt against my girl several times. He said, of course. You know, he's so polite. The way you're polite to other people, though. You know, and I don't ever want to be that age again, especially now. You're gonna have to live through even if the Democrats take back the Senate and the House. There is a lot of damage that needs to be fixed. A lot. Decades worth. And I'm just glad I'm not going to be around to deal with it. But I do miss not being attracted to men anymore. Not that I know of. No one's ever. But like I said, when I was with A, at the bar the last time, this guy who was more my age, he kept looking over at me. I didn't say anything, and but several times, like I'd look up and I'd catch him looking at me, and um, I wasn't attracted to him, but I felt like it was a compliment. He wasn't, just, abhorrent or anything like that. He just, I don't know, maybe I like him young, like Cher. I don't Because, like I said, I know this is because I have CPTSD, which is a psychological brain injury, and that's why I always say I'm 27 in my head, because, well, I'm actually more like 17 in my head, because that's all the trauma, it affects the way your brain develops, and it fucked mine up, along with my sisters and my mother's. Anywho, I was gonna talk about, but I'm doing that on Threads. I decided to like try Threads because I could write, and I'm doing a week's worth of um, remediate, is it remediate basic etiquette everywhere, but specifically New York City. A lot of fucking people in this city, and so I'm gonna just stick with posting that. I posted day one yesterday, and so I'll post day two today. You already know it's people walking their dogs and not paying any attention to them. You know how that drives me mad. And anyway, so anything else I wanted to say before I go? Oh, I am loving Frankenstein, and a good friend of mine at work is also reading it, and she's enjoying it. It's so good. The build up, women writers. It's funny because I also listened to Pet Sounds last night, Beach Boys Pet Sounds. I had never listened to the entire album. It is trippy, and that really surprised me. And now I know why the Beatles were like, especially Paul McCartney, was like, that album. He was so impressed by that album, so inspired by that album. It had a lot to do with Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Heart Club Band. And then I also read, because now I want to know everything about Brian Wilson, because he lived and suffered with mental illness his whole life. And we're still this, and it seems like a lot of like really artistic people suffer from mental illness of some sort. And I think their art is a way of healing or talking about their pain. Anyway, and I guess they said they had this friendly rivalry, and how Brian Wilson was so inspired by, it was either Revolver or Rubber Soul, which I want to listen to next. And that's what brought about Pet Sounds. I highly recommend Pet Sounds. It is so good. There's instrumental songs on there that I wasn't expecting. And of course, God Only Knows. It's just such a beautiful song. Anyway, so I highly recommend that album to listen to. And tonight, I may listen to George Harrison's. Is it All Things Must Pass, or These Things All Pass, or something? I might listen to that. And I want to thank my friend, my coworker, Dee, at work, who noticed we were sitting by each other, and he noticed the other day that I was doing this with my neck because I've been having incredible neck pain, and he had some of these, and he went and got one, and they're big, so you can cut them in half. For me, I cut it in half and put it on my neck. It's like one of those heat activated patches, and it really helped. Anyway, we were leaving work today, and he said, "Lisa, here, take this." Um, and so I want to thank him for doing that. For Because I've been bringing in, not that I expected anything in return for it. I was just doing it because all all else the only other thing we have at work to blow our noses is that brown industrial uh, paper towels that were like, it's like sandpaper on your nose. And so when I go to Trader Joe's, I pick up I wish they had a bigger box, but anyway, I pick up a 99-cent box of tissue and I bring it into work. And I don't usually need them, though. I went through that upper respiratory infection or whatever the fuck I had. And it helped me, but I know a lot of my coworkers have allergies. Stop eating dairy. Seriously. But I'm not going to preach, but I didn't stop eating dairy to eradicate my allergies. It was just a wonderful, besides not contributing to animal agriculture, it was just a wonderful side effect. Um, but living in the city of 8 million people, the air quality is so bad that even I've even like gotten sniffly at times. So I always coat the inside of my nose. Just a tip, I coat the inside of my nose with like olive oil or coconut oil. Plus I wear a mask. But I feel like it stops like particles in the air from going into my sinuses and into my lungs or whatever. Plus, um, because I have Sjogren's syndrome too, all of your orifices get very dry, and it coats my nose, so it's a feel better. Anyway, I know you're thrilled to hear that. Let me just take a sip of water, and then I'm gonna have my smoothie, and I may have my second Kimbap that I got from Trader Joe's on Friday. I called out Friday because, first of all, it's like 98 degrees outside, and that's without the heat index. And my left knee has been so swollen. And now my right knee is starting to hurt again. It had stopped hurting and now it's starting to hurt again. So I've been doing almond oil. But it's just, I see a rheumatologist in less than 2 weeks now. If I can just make it. I have been taking 3,000 milligrams of prescription Advil every day to get through the day. And the doctors are still so surprised that my liver is perfectly healthy. And I know it's because I eat a healthy vegan diet. I know that's the reason. That plus I stopped drinking. Not that I was an alcoholic or anything, but I know my diet has kept my liver and all my other organs healthy. Though I do have to say, I've been without RA medication for well over a month now. 2 months, over 2 months now. Because Credo is shit, and it destroys my mental health, even trying to get a coherent answer out of them. um, One Star Company. I have the CEO of Cigna who owns Credo. Credo is like a subsidiary of theirs, and I'm going to write him they asked me to pay these bills for these two meds um, that my insurance won't cover. And I said, no, you owe me over $1,000 for unpaid FMLA because of your utter incompetence to get me my meds on time. So no, I'm not paying you fucking $140 for these meds. No, it's more than that. It would be two, because one was 140, one was 90, so it'd be $230. No, no, it's not going to happen. I will die on that hill. Anyway, I may have that coming up, because I may stay up and watch a film and or read. I need to read, but my hands have been in so much pain recently. Though they're feeling good tonight because Lisa had two drinkies, and I'm going to have two Tylenol tonight, or two Advil tonight too. And I've been doing my hand exercises, which do help, which not one rheumatologist has ever mentioned or recommended. They have recommended PT, but I'm already going to a doctor 5 times a month. So there you go. I got a sun hat too. Oh, and I got a bikini, but it's a medium, and I tried it on with my armor on. They're the bottoms. I know they look big. They're medium, and they're just a little too big, but it's just the style I love. But I didn't notice that they were medium. I should have known, but I was just so excited. It's not pretty. It's navy. But I'm going to return it, and I'm checking out. I have ones on standby on my save list um, to get instead. I have not worn a bikini since I was a toddler, and it was a cute ass bikini too. It was like those crazy psychedelic 70s paisley. It was like hot pink, and green, and purple, and blue. And I remember wearing it. That was the one time I remember wearing a bathing suit and not feeling ashamed of my body. I was a toddler. Oh, here's my sun hat. I'll try it on right now. I may need to get another one because it can be windy there. No, what's that? I guess this is. Let's see. Oh, I like it. I always thought my head was abnormally large. I like it. I think I'm going to keep it. And it rolls up really easily. Because, I'm going to be either in the magnesium pool or sitting by the pool. And then, or if I walk to one of like the 7 beaches on the Aegean Sea, I'll take my hat. I love it. And I don't have sunglasses, but I have a clip on. Which I will bring with me too. They're always in my bag, so. And I only do carry on. I love it. And this is someone who thought she could never wear it. The hell do I care? And you can kind of work with it, I guess, right? I love it. And with my bikini, even with this dress, because I wanted to test on this dress. And it's wonderful. It's linen, and it's I got it 50% off from its already discounted price. And it's a nice linen. And it's the color of the Greek flag, and so I didn't even think of that when I bought it. But I love blue, and I stick to blue Tans, black, white, olive. That's mine. I dig this hat. I'm gonna keep it. Oh, my Google British woman is talking to me. Anyway, so I'm going to stop now. Look at that, 40 minutes. That's the Lisa. Let me know what you think of that. Or not. I don't care. I like it. And then I could put it over my face if I'm lying down. Though they have umbrellas with the lounge chairs too. So, very excited. I can't believe, and I'm scared too. It's going to be my first time traveling outside the country. And then it's first time traveling outside the country on my own. Oh, it's going to be okay. I'm going to do a dry run or something to get to the airport. It's all going to work out just fine. Right? And I'm hopefully going to get my hair cut before I go because I don't want it this long. It's getting hot there. It's shoulder season, so that's good, but I don't want it to be this long. Also, it's going to be up in a sloppy bun the whole week, too. Anyway, it was fun making this video. Not being, even though I wasn't stoned, I had a buzz, and so I was like, I have to make a video of this. And yeah, I'll put my Threads link below. And if you're interested in what I have to say, if not, I don't understand people who don't like something unless you really just don't like it. If I like something, I hit the start button. I don't understand this. If you don't even have the energy or the time to like something on Instagram, what are you doing? What are you doing? You know? I hardly get any likes at all. And it's not why I'm doing it, but I just wonder why nobody hits like. Because if I like something, I hit like to show my appreciation for that. You know what I'm saying? Granted, I'm sure with the freaking algorithms, nobody sees my shit. But whatever. Anyway, I just thought that was something I should put out there too. All right, everyone. Uh, be kind, be safe. Um, open doors, say please and thank you. Uh, and my number one was please take your earbuds out and get off your phone when you're speaking to somebody, especially if they're working in public service. They deserve your full attention. And know that if you don't do those things, we're not going to give you all the information you need because you apparently don't care what we have to say, and then we're going to talk trash about you when we leave. I love you all. I'm compassionate, but I have boundaries. Love you all. Peace out.